Shalom.
Shalom.
Your brothers of Great Millstone Charlotte back at you with another live lesson through the spirit, power, and mercy of Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai. Before we get started with this live lesson, as always, we want to give all praises, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakah HaKodash. Double honors, as always, to the apostles, the elders of Great Millstone that taught us this truth and that do rule well. Peace, blessings, and mercy to the house of David, Abayaf Dawadali, hopeful elect. To you we say Shalom.
Shalom. So we're pretty much just going into Proverbs, the 7th chapter. We're going to start at the first verse. I'm going to read it. This is Mashaliah, chapter 7 and verse 1. It says, "My son, keep my commandments and lay it keep my words and lay it my commandments with thee." It says, hey, Shalom. It says, keep my commandments and live, and my law is the apple of thine eye. So pretty much when you keep something as the apple of your eye, you cherish it, you uphold it. When you go into the word shamar, pretty much means to pretty much uplift. Don't treat it as if it's don't make it void. It says, bind them upon thy fingers, write them upon the table of thine heart. All right, when you bond something up upon your fingers, the saying in the world, have it on the back of your hand, pretty much know it forwards and backwards. It says, say unto wisdom, thou art my sister, and call understanding thy kinswoman. Baba Kushal, could you get I think it's Sirach 15.
Sirach 15, how does it go?
It talks about wisdom being a woman, or like a sister or something like that. Might be like 15:3 or something.
Okay. Sirach 15 and 3. With the bread of understanding shall she feed him, and give him the water of wisdom to drink.
So the she is referred to. Wisdom in the scriptures is likened to a woman. You see, it says, say unto wisdom, Chakama, thou art my sister, and call understanding thy kinswoman, that they may keep thee from the strange woman, from the stranger which flattereth with her words. I'm going to get a quick precept. This is Mashaliah, Proverbs chapter 5 and verse 3. It says, I'm going to start from verse 1. My son, attend unto wisdom, and bow down heart to my understanding, that thou mayest regard discretion, and that thy lips may keep knowledge. For the lips of a strange woman drop as in honeycomb, and her mouth is smoother than oil. But her end is bitter as wormwood, sharp as a two-edged sword. So pretty much this woman in Proverbs 7 is referring to America, Babylon the Great, and the different ways that she promotes. You see, it says, for the lips of a strange woman drop as in honeycomb, so there's things that she talks about. It sounds good. It says her mouth is smoother than oil. She's very slick. Who runs this country? You look at Psalms 50, the 55th chapter. It talks about Esau, Edom, how his words were smoother than oil. You see, so he's very deceptive. He's very slick in his talk.
Right. And Esau, Edom, is the one that's in power of the earth right now, with his hegemony on the planet Earth. He's managed to make the whole world drunken with these strange doctrines and philosophies, man. Primarily the tribes.
Okay. I'm gonna keep going. It says, for at the window of my casement, for at the window of my house I looked through my casement, and beheld among the simple ones, I discerned among the youths a man void of understanding. Baba Kushak, could you get Proverbs 21 and verse 16? I'm gonna read it again. It says, and beheld among the simple ones, I discerned among the youths a young man void of understanding, pretty much without the knowledge.
Proverbs 21 and 16. The man that wandereth out of the way of understanding shall remain in the congregation of the dead.
Who is this? This is Jake in America. You see, that represents Jake without the truth. It says a man void of understanding shall remain in the congregation of the dead. And that's pretty much, again, Jake in America, Babylon the Great, subscribing to these different philosophies and ways of life. Verse 8, It says, passing through the street near her corner, and he went the way to her house in the twilight, in the evening, in the black and dark night.
Right
And
now, you gotta think about how the scripture is setting it up. As we just read, right? One that wanders out of the way of understanding is in the congregation of the dead. You have Jake, in this proverb. Jake is seeking after this strange woman. He's going adverse to the way of life. He's following after this strange woman and entertaining the thoughts of getting with her. You know how you court with a woman, you're trying to get at her. She looks beautiful. She's like, damn, she's gorgeous, right?
mhm.
And that's how the world perceives the doctrines, the strange woman, man, the doctrines and philosophies of Babylon. Keep reading.
verse verse 10. And behold, there met him a woman with the attire of an harlot, and subtle of heart. I think it's a precept. I think it's Revelation 17. Could you get that biblical shot? I think it's verse 5.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm gonna get wait, I'm gonna run this back. It says Proverbs 7 and verse 10. And behold, there met him a woman with the attire of an harlot and subtle of heart. So you see, so going into how she tries to set Jake up. I'm gonna get a precept real fast. You got that?
Yeah, I got it. Revelation 17 and 5. And upon her forehead was a name written, Mystery, Babylon the Great, the mother of harlots and abominations of the earth.
Mm-hmm. It talks about dressed in scarlet or like a dress or something like that.
Oh, Consulate. Revelation 17 and 4. And the woman was arrayed in purple and scarlet color, and decked with gold and precious stones and pearls, having a golden cup in her hand full of abominations and filthiness of her fornication.
Mm-hmm. So pretty much she the attire of a harlot. I'm gonna get this quick
Mhm.
precept. It says and subtle of heart. So when you go into the word subtle, it means crafty, cunning. Deceptive. But pretty much this is the mindset of America Babylon the Great, because she knows who she's dealing with. She knows that she has the nation of Yasha'Allah in captivity. This is Ecclesiastes chapter 7 verse 26. It says, "And I find more bitter than death the woman whose heart is snares and nets, and her hands as bands. Whoso pleases the Most High shall escape from her, but the sinner shall be taken by her." And pretty much that goes into that subtle of heart. How America tries to trap Jake up. You look at every industry. It's pretty much a way to sin for Jake. You see, it talks about in the scriptures, and Bara'ash Genesis, how Esau's a cunning hunter. You see, so he knows what Jake's like. You know, going back to that subtleness of heart.
If I may get a quick precept, Genesis 3 and 1, because we have to understand this man's system. He is the serpent going all the way back to the garden, right? The serpent was not an actual fucking snake, right? The serpent was symbolic for the characteristics and attributes of an individual at that time, which fast forward today, his descendants are the nation of Edom, who are governing the earth right now, who are governing Babylon the Great and pushing out the vibration of wickedness. Genesis 3 and 1. Now the serpent was more subtle than any beast of the field, which the Lord Yahweh power had made. Okay, and as we just read in Proverbs 7, right? A woman with the attire of a harlot and subtle in heart. Okay. So this serpent, Babylon, these Edomites, they're going to present this way unto you as a way that's beneficial. It's a way that's lucrative. It's fun. You know, it's a way to live your true life, right? But it's not that, man. It's nothing but a snare. Continuing on, and he said unto the woman, yeah, Yahweh said, ye shall not eat of every tree of the garden. And we know, as the story goes, the serpent beguiled Eve, and ultimately Eve went to Adam, and here we are, fast forward 2023. you know but we go back to that Proverbs.
Continuing on, could you get Habakkuk 2 and 5?
Come.
The water. This is back to Mashalia chapter 7 and verse 11. It says, "She is loud and stubborn; her feet abide not in her house." All right, going into how she when you go into America Babylon the Great, you see they got garrisons and different embassies. in all these different countries. They can't really maintain the issues that they got in America, Babylon the Great, you see. And that was the issue that Rome had. You see, this is Rome 2.0, you know, that they're spreading itself too thin, you know.
Going to Habakkuk,
Baruch Shalom.
Habakkuk 2 and 5. Yeah, also because he transgresseth by wine.
Going into the philosophies and ways of life.
He is a proud man, neither keepeth at home,
Mm-hmm.
who enlargeth his desire as hell, and is as death, and cannot be satisfied, but gathereth unto him all nations, and heapeth unto him all people.
Going into the fact that it said she is loud and stubborn, and her feet abide not in her house. You see, so America, Babylon the Great, is always into other people's affairs. You see, when they got stuff domestically that they can't really take care of, you know.
Quote that once more, because we didn't read that far yet.
To
Verse 11. Proverbs 7:11. We didn't read that far yet.
It says, this is Proverbs 7:11. It says, she is loud and stubborn, her feet abide not in her house. Keep going.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, I was just saying, you know, to quote it, because we didn't read that far. But I see the point he was making between Habakkuk and Proverbs 7.
Verse 12. Now she without, now in the streets, and lieth in wait at every corner. All right, who's on those corners? It says lieth in wait, you know. Again, going back to the fact that she has that subtleness of heart, you know, she's trying to trap Jacob, you know. It says, so she caught him and kissed him, and with an impudent face she said unto him, I have peace offerings with me this day. I have paid my vows. Therefore came I forth to meet thee diligently, to seek thy face, and I have found, and I have found thee diligently,
So
because
she caught him, she kissed him, gave him peace offerings, trying to make Jake complacent. You know, like how when a man gets with a woman, you know, a man with no woman is more brutish, right? They're more concrete, but when they get with a woman, their complacency grows, right? They become more, I guess you could say, homebound, right? And that's what this beast, this harlot, Babylon the Great, is doing to our nation, man, seducing our people into complacency with what? Peace offerings, right? Government programs, subsidies, all types of things, right? Keep reading.
verse 16. I have decked my bed with coverings of tapestry, with the carved works, with fine linen of Egypt. I have perfumed my bed with myrrh, aloes, and cinnamon.
Right. Again, the government subsidies, man, the government programs seducing our people into complacency. Because you just imagine you go to a woman crib and she got this type of aroma in her bedroom, and you gonna lay down with her. You gonna be like, yo, this is it. You know what I'm saying? You go up into a woman crib, she got carved work, fine linen out of Egypt. She done decked the bed with a scent to where you lay on the bed, it's got a smell. Like Jake gonna cozy up in that. You
Mm-hmm.
know what I'm saying? But this isn't that. That's not it. She's seducing you into something that you're not supposed to do.
Verse 18. Come, let us take our fill of love until the morning. Let us solace ourselves with loves, for the good man is not home. He is gone on a long journey.
Mm-hmm. Speaking of Yahweh Shai,
Mm-hmm.
Yahweh Shai is the good man.
He hath taken a bag of money with him, and will come home at the day appointed. With her much fair speech, she caused him to yield. With the flattering of her lips, she forced him. So pretty much going into from verse 19 to verse 20, pretty much Esau's trying to make it seem like, you know, the Lord's not going to know, because the Lord isn't, you know, they're trying to say the Lord isn't present.
Mm-hmm.
You see, but when the Lord comes back, he's going to reward those that sold out. You see, that's why a lot of Jakes sell out. Verse 21, with her much fair speech, she caused him to yield. With the flattering of her lips, she forced him. Verse 22, he goeth after her straightway as an ox goeth to the slaughter, or as a fool to the or as a fool to the correction of the stocks, till a dart strike through his liver, as a bird hasteth to the snare, and knoweth not that it is for his life. Verse 24. So pretty much, following after this woman is going to be a ticket, to death. Let me get a quick precept. This is going back to Mashaliah, Proverbs chapter 5 and verse 5. It says, her feet go down to death, her steps take hold on hell. All right, pretty much driving home the point, you see, because following America, Babylon the Great is going to result in death and destruction. Micah chapter 2 and verse 10, arise ye and depart, for this is not your rest, for it shall destroy you, even with the sword of destruction, roughly paraphrasing. Continuing on, it says, hearken unto me now, therefore, O ye children, and attend to the words of my mouth. Let not thine heart decline to her ways, go not astray in her paths. All right, and pretty much when you go into that word astray, it goes into to wander. You see, to wander from the paths of righteousness. It says, for she hath cast down many wounded, yet many strong men have been slain by her. Her house is the way to hell, going down to the chambers of death. Hey, so pretty much following that westernization, the ways of the West, that's adverse to the Bible, it's going to result in death. All right.
That was it?
Yeah, that was it.
God. So Lord willing, this was edifying lesson, straight to the point. Close out giving all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Makakodash. Double honors to the apostles, the elders of Great Millstone that taught us his truth and rule well. Peace, blessings, and mercy to the house of David. Habayaf Dawadadi, hopeful elect to you. We say shalom.
Shalom.